Okay, friends, one more quick video focusing on releasing our hip flexors, engaging our glutes, and strengthening our low backs. Those three areas all work together so that you don't end up with shortened, tight hip flexors. So that's really our main focus on this one. So let's take it on down to the mat and we're gonna start warming up our hips first. Let's be in all fours position. So quadruped, knees stacked directly underneath our hips, wrists stacked directly underneath our shoulders. Before we do anything with our hips, let's just warm up the spine with a few cat-cow. This one's my favorite. We inhale to look up, we exhale to look down. It's always a really good idea to start warming up with our breathing. And last one here, just about 4 or 5, not a whole lot of these. And back down. Let's find a neutral spine. We want to have our rib cage pulled up in line with our shoulders and our hips. So we're starting out keeping our knee bent to 90 degrees as we take our leg out to the side, up to the ceiling, and back down to the floor for 10. All I want you to think about here is mobilizing from the hip socket, giving your body a chance to start warming up. So you really just want to feel your leg turning around in the hip socket, not really too much movement in the leg itself. This is 5, 6, you should start to feel your abdominals warming up as well. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's go the other way. So we go to the ceiling first, keeping our backs nice and neutral. Bring that leg down for 10, 9, 8. This is also warming up the low back because our low back extensors are working as stabilizers for our spine and our pelvis. This is 6, 5, keeping our backs neutral and our head in line. 3 more. 2 and 1. Bring it around and bring it back down. And then we'll try the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to turn around so you can see this leg. We're picking it up to the side first and taking it to the top and down for 10. 9, tummies are pulled in. 8, 7, I like to inhale, exhale. 5, 4, 3, breathing, strong arms. Last one. If you have any wrist issues, you can always come to fists. Same thing in the other direction for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, keeping our pelvis as still as we can. It might move a little bit, that's okay. 4 more. Up first, to the side, 2, and 1. Now that we've got our bottoms engaged, let's come up on top of our knees. So we have our hips stacked, shoulders and ribs stacked, everything's in line. Take a big inhale and find your glutes. So I tend to let my low back sag just a little bit, and I really have to think of my pelvis coming forward so it's actually neutral. Then we take our arms forward, press down through the tops of the feet. On your inhale, grow tall. On your exhale, lean back off your knees as low as you can go, and then come right back up. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, stack up. Notice my hinge is coming from my knee. So I'm pressing down through my shins, and I'm keeping my spine pretty much aligned. So if you start sitting on this one, you'll know you're flexing at your hips. I'm going to tuck my toes under because I'm getting a foot cramp, and we're going to continue going back. 5 more. This is called thigh stretch. We normally do this on the reformer, but you can also do it on the mat. It's actually harder on the mat. This is 8, growing as tall as we can. 9, and 10. Now let's bring our hands to our hips. We're going to practice a little lunge. Now, when you think about lunges, we usually start standing, right? This one's going to start from the ground. So we're not really using our back leg too much. I'm going to keep that foot tucked under as I come to stand. I have my hands in front of me, and then I'm going to go back down nice and easy. Stand up. So I'm not using my back foot a whole lot, and I'm going to reach it back down. Up and down. So this prevents you from landing really hard on that foot. We have to gently lower ourselves back down. This is 5. Working the glutes a little bit, but we're keeping our hips open. 6, 7, control it down. 8, trying to keep it as light as possible. 9, and 10. Let's go to the other side. Keeping that foot tucked under so our weight goes forward. We lift up with control. We go down with control. 10, 9, 8, 7, tummy's in, glutes engaged. 6. Do whatever feels good with your arms. They kind of help you. It's nice to have a bed next to you in case you lose your balance. This is my side that I always struggle with. 4 more. 3. Ooh, balance. 2. And last one. Bring it back down. Let's switch back to the first leg that we started with. So I'm going to turn this way. We're going to come into what's called the runner's lunge, or we call it Eve's lunge in Pilates, where you have your hands down on the mat, reaching our hips as low as we can to the mat. Let's imagine somebody pulling this leg back as we try to reach forward away from it. Then we're lifting our hips up as high as we can, scooping our belly, and then coming back down. We'll do 5 with our hands on the mat, and then we're going to do 5 with no hands. So you have to use your glutes in order to open the front of this thigh. Okay, let's take our hands away. So on this one, we have our hands down. Well, I guess they might touch the mat here. They don't have to. And then we sweep our hands up. Reach your hands back. Reach your hands up. If you're slipping, you can shorten your stance. This is 4. And 5. Let's bring it down, lower that knee, and we'll switch legs. I'm going to stay facing this way just so you can see how low I go on this hip. Starting with our hands down, we're reaching back through our heel, reaching forward through our heads, long line, and then we scoop the belly, round the spine, lengthen the spine. Scoop and lift the belly off your thighs, and then reach it long. 5 of these. This is 3. Reach it long. 2. And last one. Let's check out our balance here. As you go down, the arms go up. As your bottom goes up, your arms go back or down, wherever. Let's really reach through the heel on that back leg. This is 4. Long spine, and 5. Woo! Woo! Balance challenge there. Let's go ahead and come down to our knees again. And we're gonna work our way down onto the mat, laying down. Bridge is one of my absolute favorites for hip extension, hamstring work, and glute work, but let's use our abs to get there. So I'm gonna start with my feet about hip distance apart on the mat, reaching my arms forward. I'm placing my spine onto the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then taking my hands into the mat, walking my feet a little bit closer to me. From here, let's take a deep breath, opening the rib cage. Exhale, closing the rib cage. On our next inhale, let's engage the glutes and think about our pubic bone coming highest. So as you lift your hips off the mat, you're gonna feel your spine come up. You'll notice you're standing on the base of your shoulder blades and your pubic bone is reaching to the ceiling, and then we lower it back down. Let's make that happen with our breath. Inhale to go up. Exhale to go down. Doesn't have to be super high. Inhale to go up. Our low back should be nice and long here. Exhale to go down. What I tend to do is I get up to about here, which is my point of my height. And if I try to go higher, my belly comes up and I arch my back, and that's not what we're looking for. So we want to make sure our pelvis is the higher point, not our belly. 5 more like this. Press through the heels and the big toes. If you think about your big toe, it engages your inner thighs. 4 more. Inhale to go up. Exhale to go down. And last one, take it up and down. Now I'm going to be a little bit evil to you. Let's stretch our right leg out on the mat. Left foot, I'm gonna bring it in just a little so it's closer to my midline. As I kick my right leg to the ceiling, I lift my pelvis into a single leg bridge. So let's take it up, flex the foot, let's take it down. We'll do 5 of those. Lift up and down. Lift up, keeping our pelvis neutral so that one side doesn't drop. This is 3 and down. Keep it up on the 5th one. This is 4 and down. Stay lifted. 5 and hold. Flex the foot to lower. Point the toe to lift for 5, 4. Keep lifting on the side. 2 and 1. Bring that leg down, lower your hips down, and bend your right knee, straightening the left. Kicking the leg as we go up for 5. Flex the foot to go down, point the toe to go up. This is 3, 4, and 5. Stay there and down and up and down and up. Press through the heel and up. 3 and up. 4 and up. 5. Up. Lower it down. Lower the hips. Bend both knees and hug those knees into your chest. You can rock your hips from side to side. My favorite culmination of this true hip opener is the wheel pose or back bend, which the back bend we do on the reformer with assist. On the mat, it's a little bit harder, in fact, because you don't have anything bringing you into it. So I'm going to encourage everyone to stop at the moment that works for you. We're going to turn our palms, fingertips facing the shoulders, and we're just going to work bridge maybe a little bit higher. So as you press your hips up, I want you to eventually work a little bit of weight into your arms. So you could just maybe envision yourself coming up and then go back down. And then again, just press into the hands a little bit so you feel your whole body hovering, and you start to notice your arms. You're going as high as you can into the regular bridge. And then at some moment, you shift your weight into your arms. Keep doing that as long as you need to until your back feels comfortable to maybe eventually go into a full back bend. Tuck the chin to come back down. So that's something to work toward, but maybe not do today. Let's hug those knees into the chest and rock ourselves back up. We're going to turn to one side for our side leg series. What we just did was also for the low back, but now we're coming more into a stability position for our low back. I'm going to angle my feet to the corner of the mat. I'm going to lay all the way down, supporting my head with my bottom arm. I'm reaching my top leg away from me, creating a long line through my spine, also lifting my bottom rib. I'm going to take this top leg up a little bit higher so it's in line with my hip bones, and I'm going to take a big deep breath. As I exhale, I'm going to flex my foot and kick 2 kicks to the front, point my toe, kick to the back without rocking. 2 kicks to the front, 1 kick to the back. Kind of need that counterweight of my arm. So if you want to put your arm down, you're welcome to. This is 3, and kick, 4, and kick. How hard can you pull that leg forward? Kick, kick, and reach. Kick, kick, and reach. 6, and reach. 7. I like to plant my foot sometimes just to give me a little bit more anchor. This is 8, 9, and 10, and reach. Let's keep it back there. Little bitty circles for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keeping that hip open, using your glutes. So we want this nice line through the front of the leg. And the other way, 10, 9, 8. Keep that waist lifted, keep the spine long. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back to the center. We're going to go into turnout position, kicking to the ceiling. We're going to kick up and pull down. Ooh, watch that bottom rib. I just felt mine touch the mat. Kick up without dropping. So just to here and down. Kick and down. Kick and down. So many times we ask for hip flexor release work when in fact we also need to strengthen the hip flexors because they are shortened and they don't get to work through their full range of motion. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. For our transition, we're going to pick both legs up, spin them around, and lay down. I'm a little sticky on the other side. Supporting your head and your arm, long neck, reach the top leg away, open the feet about hip distance apart, 2 kicks to the front, as high as you can, 1 kick to the back. Use the glutes. Kick to the front, reach to the back. Plant your foot wherever it needs to be on that bottom leg so that you can really stabilize. So maybe I can't go that far to the back. We have to be able to let go through our hip flexor to be able to reach back without being pulled backwards. And I'm struggling with that, so I'm hoping y'all struggle a little bit too. We also don't want this to go into our low backs. So if you keep your hand on your tummy, it's going to keep you engaged. This is 6. Lengthen. Kick, kick. 7. Woo, I'm falling. 8. Just so you know, I fall too. 9. And 10. Use the glutes. Open the front of the hip. Hold the leg there for circles. 2. Rib is still lifted. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring those feet together. Kick to the ceiling. Pull down. Ooh, don't let that rib go down. Kick and pull. Kick and pull. Working the hip flexor. Strengthening it. Using that deep psoas muscle to create that connection of the spine to the leg. This is 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful job. Let's come up onto our sits bones again. We're gonna reach those hands back behind us and open the chest as we lift our leg up and down, connecting to that deep, deep psoas muscle. 2. So we're working the hip flexor with control. We're just gonna do 5 on each side, because I want you to think about it connecting here in the waist. And this is 5 and 5. Now let's open that area up as we flip over onto our tummies. So we're gonna start what I like to refer to as the hangout position. You're just gonna chat with your friends, hanging out here. No, we're not gonna hang out, don't worry. We're gonna have good posture. So let's press our elbows into the mat, press our forearms into the mat, and create space through our chest and through our neck. And I'm pressing into the tops of my thighs, into my pubic bone, so that my low back doesn't sag here. I'm pulled up. In fact, my belly is actually off the mat. So we're gonna do single leg kicks. As we look over the right shoulder, you're gonna kick 1, 2, and kick 1, 2. Now this gets really easy if I'm relaxed. I'm just flopping my feet in. But if I'm pressing through the tops of my thighs, my knees are actually a little bit lifted. And as I kick, I keep my knee lifted. So my knee does not touch the mat. And looking side to side shows that I'm out of my neck. We're gonna do 10. This is 4, knee stays lifted, hip stays anchored. 5, 2 kicks. You can flex your feet if you want to. Flex, or you can keep them pointed. 7, tummies in. Use those hamstrings. 8, pull as far as you can. 9, try to kick your butt. And 10. Whew, if you had those knees lifted, you were definitely working your hamstrings and glutes, opening your hip flexors at the same time. Let's bring those feet totally together. We're gonna turn and look to one side, crossing one hand over the other as we bring our elbows down on the mat. Same idea, lengthen the tailbone away from the spine so your pubic bone is anchored. You're gonna do 3 kicks, knees lifted, 2, 3. Extend the legs so they stay lifted. Extend the arms and lift the chest. Look to the other side. Kick 1, 2, 3, and reach. Kick 1, 2, 3. Spine stays long. Kick 1, 2, 3. Open the chest. Kick 1, 2, 3. Extend. This is our last exercise. 1, 2, 3. And reach. Last set. 1, 2, 3. Reach. You have to look the other way. 1, 2, 3. And reach. Let it come back down. Press to child's pose for just a moment. Take one big deep breath in and come all the way up to standing to finish. I hope you felt your hamstrings, your glutes, maybe a little bit of your back, and maybe a little bit of stretch in your hip flexor. Take care.